in this lesson I'm going to show you how to do a bouncing ball effect, or animate a ball to where it looks like it's bouncing up and down. And we're going to of course use tweens for this, motion tweens. So first let's create a new flash file, and I'll name the first layer that I'm creating ball. Makes sense, right? Now I want this ball to look like it's three-dimensional, and I'm going to show you a little trick to doing that. So if we go over to our color panel, under our fill color, I'm going to choose no stroke, no outline on the ball that I'm going to create. And I'm going to choose radial. And once I choose radial, I'm going to choose overflow to be this one here to get the effect I want. Now, notice when you're dealing with a radial gradient change like this, whatever is our little marker on the right, that's the color that will be outside the spherical radial gradient. And whatever's on the left here is the color on the inside. So for instance, if I took this white one, moved it over, took this black one, moved it over here, now you see how it's reversed. The inside is the black and the outside is the white. But in this case, to try to make something look round or spherical, I want the reflection point to be on the inside, like so. So I'm going to move this one, move the white and the black, make sure the white's on the left and the black on the right, and then move them almost to the edge, but leave a little bit of room. Now we're going to grab our oval tool, and we are going to hold down Shift so we have a perfect circle, and we're going to pull like so. Now that looks like a three-dimensional ball. But to make it even look more realistic, what we're going to do is use our gradient transform tool. And we're going to click on it, and then when in the center, when you have your little four arrows like this, we're going to grab and move it up left, like so. Now take a look at how it looks. Now it looks truly three-dimensional, as if a light is shining on this point right here, but not the rest of the ball. So we could adjust it till it's exactly what we want. Doesn't have to be perfect. Alright, now that is much too large for our stage, so what I'm going to do is look at it at 50%, and now I'm going to select the object, our spherical ball, and I am going to free transform it. Hold down Shift while I take a corner, that way when I'm transforming it, it keeps its proportions. And I'm going to do it maybe about that big. And now I'm going to grab this again, pull the ball up top here, and now up top here in our timeline, what we're going to do is create the keyframe that we're going to end it on here. Actually, first, before we do that, let's turn it into a symbol. So select the ball, modify, convert to symbol, or F8. Call it ball. I'm going to make it a movie clip. Now I'm going to choose frame 30. Insert a keyframe there. Now, we know we want the ball to drop from this point, bounce, go to the bottom, and then bounce back up again. So it'll end up the exact place where it started. So this is correct. But about the middle, it's going to hit the bottom here. So let's choose frame 15, insert keyframe, and now I'm going to, while I'm on that keyframe 15, I'm going to move it near the bottom. maybe a little more, like so. And now here, the very next frame, I'm going to insert another keyframe. And this time, while on that frame, I'm going to right-click and transform the object, free transform. I'm going to grab the top here, and I'm going to slightly smush it. So just like a ball that hits the ground starts to change shape, like a bouncing ball, that's what the effect I'm trying to achieve here. Then, once we have it how we want it, slightly smushed, might even, while smushing it from the top, pull it slightly out on the sides, so it's smushing down and pushing these sides out slightly. Now, on the very next frame, we're going to insert another keyframe, and I'm going to make it even a little more smushed. Push down some more, and a little bit more elongated, maybe slightly less. Now, insert another keyframe on the next one. And now we're going to unsmush it slightly. Bring these in a little bit. Insert another keyframe here. Bring it a little bit back to normal. And these back in a little bit. And then on the next keyframe, insert another. And this one will bring it back to normal. Pretty much. Or at least close to normal. Like so. Now, all we have left to do is add our motion tweens in between our keyframes. Being that all these are right in a row and they're all keyframes, we don't need to do anything there. But in between this keyframe and this keyframe, anywhere in between, we're going to make it a motion tween. And in between this frame and this frame, we're going to make it a motion tween, like so. Now if we start from the beginning, hit play, see how it looks like it's bouncing? And smushing? Alright, so one more thing I'm going to do, I think, and that is try to add a ground level to it. So let's zoom in slightly. Well, back to 100% will work, I guess. And I'm just going to remember that it's about, I'll move the line in a moment, but start on frame 1. And now I'm going to take my line, move it across there like that. And now I may have to move it around a little bit. Oops. See, I accidentally modified it. Let's see if that is close. Now what I'm going to do is select it, convert it to a symbol, like so. And now let's see if I have the line in the correct position. Let's now what I need to do is make sure it's in all the frames. And the only way to do that is to have inserted it from the beginning. So actually, what I can do is copy the symbol, put it here at the end, oops, Alright. So what I should have done is created this line early on when I first created this. Actually, you know, I know what we can do. Sorry, let's fix this really quick. Alright, so I'm just going to undo. Make sure our ball looks good. Now I'm going to insert a new frame, and I'll put it underneath ball, and I'll call this ground. There we go. Now I'll be able to take my line and draw it. And move it until it looks correct. Like so. Alright, that solved the problem. So now if we played it from the beginning, it would look like it's bouncing. Ah, see, it's a little too high. So let's move it lower. Oops. Click once. Alright, let's see if that's low enough. Alright, not quite low enough, so I'll go down here. And now there we go. That should be low enough. So if we start from the beginning, and now we can see some minor adjustments that we may need to make. For instance, this frame, this frame. Now when it starts to smush, we should have it slightly lower, like so. And again with this one, we want it hugging the line pretty much. So all of these we can bring down slightly. Like so. And now let's play from the beginning. Ah, there we go. Now it looks realistic. Now we can go Control, Test Movie. And now it looks like it's really bouncing on the ground. So there's a quick way to make a bouncing ball. Enjoy.